Hey coach, welcome back. How did you feel about the idea of true competition in the previous video? Is that something you are in favor of already, or are you struggling to come to terms with it? That's fine. Over the next few videos, we're going to provide lots of tips to make sure that your teams and participants are able to enjoy competing in a safe and caring climate. In this video, we're going to look at how we prepare for competitions from a logistics point of view. In other words, what do we need to have in place to make sure we and our participants and their parents can safely take part and enjoy competitions? As we said earlier, the competitive environment is full of unpredictables and stressors, so it pays to take control of all these things that we can control to minimize stress and negative emotions. To help you remember, we've come up with the acronym PEP. P is for people, E is for equipment, and the second P is for provisions. Okay, so let's look at people first. We like to think about two areas that are important to people. First, clear arrangements, and second, safeguarding and protection. In relation to clear arrangements, all people involved in your team or activity need to be kept abreast and be clear about the arrangements that have been made for the competition. This includes details like dates and times, venue, transportation, including departure and return times, price for taking part, and if needed, accommodation details. Likewise, we need to communicate with the event organizers or the opposition to make sure that all necessary information has been shared. Things like team and participant data and protocols required to take part, competition rules, confirmed fixtures, date, time and venue, and very importantly, what safeguarding policies will be in operation on the day. All this information should be communicated as much as possible in advance of the competition. This gives you, the coach, a chance to ask for help from parents, assistant coaches and opponents wherever needed. We suggest you prepare templates with all these elements where you just have to modify the details specific to each competition or event. It will save you lots of time. As for safeguarding, it is paramount that we take all measures possible to minimize the chances of anything going wrong and to know exactly what to do if it does. Key areas to look at here include keeping accurate personal and medical records for all your participants and staff and sharing them with the organizers where appropriate. Having all parent phone numbers stored in your phone's memory as well as in a hard copy. Getting parents to sign all necessary informed consent forms before they leave their children in your care. Being aware of general and competition-specific safeguarding and protection policies, and last but not least, obtaining a first aid certificate and carrying a fully stocked first aid kit at all times. Okay, so what about equipment? There is nothing worse than getting to a competition and realizing you've forgotten a vital piece of equipment. It creates a huge amount of anxiety for parents, participants, and coaches too. Here are some key bits to remember. The playing kit or team uniforms, equipment required for competition like a headgear, shin pads, swimming goggles, or mouth guards, equipment required for warm-ups like extra balls, cones, bibs, or any other implements relevant to your sport, and very importantly, the required team documents or individual license to take part in the event. For all things equipment and material, there is nothing better than creating a checklist you can review before setting off to make sure you have everything you need, and so you can check you don't leave anything behind after the competition ends. Moreover, ask your participants to develop their own checklist and encourage parents to let their kids make sure they have everything they need for the competition. They will only forget their shoes once. And finally, what about provisions? Well, during competitions, especially if they last for more than one day, we need to make sure that coaches and participants are kept fresh, nourished, and hydrated. It will be important to consider the following. Will snacks and drinks be available for purchase at the venue? What types and amounts of food and drinks should children pack in their lunch bags? Does the accommodation include half or full board meals? And not to be forgotten, does the venue or the hotel offer a laundry service to wash the kit for the following day? If not, what are the alternatives? Yes, it is always a good idea to do a scouting trip before a competition to iron out all these little details. Sometimes a phone call to the venue will do. So, that's it for the logistics. Remember PEP, people, equipment and provisions. Thanks for watching and see you in the next video. Chris is going to look at competition from the perspective of the management of expectations. Keep calm and coach on.